Hello, and welcome to your practice of rest and reset, where we will be exploring a variety of techniques and practices that can support balance in the nervous system, which is going to then show up as balance in the body and mind. So, today we'll focus on just saying hello and getting to know the body and starting to invite our attention to be very curious, open to discovery, even like a childlike sense of play and openness and kind of reaching out into the world or reaching out into the experience. And the invitation for that really in the practice is to hold that intention of openness and curiosity and ready to discover with what's arising in you. And what's arising might be something sensation based, something you feel strongly physically, like in or around your body. And that can be different pressure, temperature. You might feel heaviness or lightness, warmth or coolness. You can also feel certain textures like rough or smooth or choppy, grainy. This is where it'll it'll be your own experience. So I don't want to give you too many words. You might not feel any of those words, but you might have your feeling words that come up. And again, the intention is just for discovery. So we're not trying to have these things happen or trying to make anything go away. So really setting the foundation and groundwork for this little summer series that's what we'll be holding in our mind and our hearts as we explore. So today we'll have a brief intro practice. We're going to start with a little bit of body brushing. Can be a helpful way to map the body. It can also be a great way to begin to move out of your head and into your body if you've been active this first part of the day. This class live is 12 to 12:30. It might be a slightly different time when you're listening to this, but just know that's why the aim is for balance. We'll start in more of a restful practice, and then we'll finish with a practice that's a bit more enlivening. So when you move out of the practice into the rest of your day, you're not feeling lethargic or too sleepy. All right. So we're going to start with our rest, our settling in with the body brushing. And so the technique here is opened hand. So it's your palm and the underside of your fingers that's going to be brushing along your body. And the touch is very soft and gentle, something you feel comfortable with. You're not trying to do a deep massage. You're not trying to get into tight places. You might note there's areas that want that, and you can revisit that in your own time after the practice. But we're just saying hello with touch. And as much as you can, let your attention rest in your hands. So, everywhere your hands are, that's where you're focusing in on, and that's where you're curious about sensation or feedback. So you'll start at the top of your head with both hands, and you're brushing from the center out to the sides and from the front to the back. So this is a soft brushing along the head, the front, the back, and the sides. You can bring your hands, fingertips toward your forehead and eyebrows, and you're brushing from center out to temples. You're doing this fairly slowly, so it feels like, oh, this is restful. Nothing too fast. That's keeping the system and the mind active. We want there to be an easeful attention. Brushing along the bridge of the nose, along the cheeks toward the ears. Again, you want to touch as much as you can. We're mapping with touch along the chin, out toward the ears and the sides of the neck. You can tuck your chin towards your chest, bring your hands back behind your head, and as much as you can, you're brushing along the back of the neck. Might feel a little bit on the top of the shoulders as well. If there's anywhere that's hard to touch, just bring your attention there and notice what you feel. And then bring your chin back to a comfortable position, maybe slightly tilting toward the ceiling and softly brushing along the front of the neck, the front of the chest, the front of the ribs and belly, from collarbones to the hips. And then you're going to brush along the left arm and hand from shoulder to fingertips, the back of the arm, and then brushing along down the inner arm. So starting from the shoulder and brushing down to the fingertips. Maybe thumb side and then pinky side. Then you'll do the right arm. Noticing what's here, what you're discovering. You might notice parts of the arm that feel numb or other parts that feel tense. When you've brushed your other arm, you're going to bring the back of your hands up toward your armpits. So you're touching along the sides of your body with the back of the hands or back of the fingers, and you're brushing down along the side from the armpits to the hip. And then you might lean forward if you're seated or standing, and you're brushing along the back. So you bring the back of the hands toward the back of your torso or the back of your seat, your pelvis, whatever you can brush along, and you're brushing down, soft, moving at a comfortable, slow pace. And then when you're ready, to the degree that you can, you're brushing along the front of the legs, from the hips to the toe tips. And then you'll get the back of the legs, the outside of the legs, and the inside of the legs. And then coming back to a comfortable seated or standing position, we'll do a quick scan through the body. Now that we've mapped with touch, hopefully this brought more of a sense of body as lived energy rather than body as a concept or an idea or something that you're distant from. Maybe you're noticing as you're feeling more embodied that it's not that comfortable. And so I just want to normalize that. I'll be offering, like I said, just a kind of a body scan. We won't spend too much time or linger. We'll welcome body in larger parts rather than little finite points. So, following along here, we'll begin in the feet. Whatever position you're in, you're noticing the bottoms of your feet, the tops of your feet, your toes, your heels, the ankles. And you're feeling from your ankles to your knees. Knees to hips. Not forcing any change, just curious what's here. And then feeling from the hips to the shoulders, the torso, the different directions, the front and the back and the sides, and sensations deep inside. And all these sensations at the same time. And feeling from your shoulders to your fingertips. And then the neck, head, and face. Sensing the eyes, all around the eyes and the eyes themselves. Sensing the nose, the structure of the nose, but also the function. Noticing the breath moving if you're breathing through the nose, and how the nose is open to discovering different smells. Sensing the ears, the structure of the ears and how they open to sound. Welcome sound, discover sound. And then bring attention to the mouth, all the structures of the mouth. And if there's a lingering taste or an absence of taste. And you're feeling your whole body now, all the senses open. You're feeling your body in whatever position you're in and the surfaces that are beneath you providing support. And from this place of support, begin to tune into your breathing. And today we'll notice the breath and invite in a wave of coherent breathing. And I say a wave because we'll do a 3 count, a 4 count, a 5 count, and then back to a 4 count and 3 count. So we can scale up that intensity or that possibility for receptivity and release, and then we can soften it back down. Taking this at a comfortable pace. If you find controlling and counting your breath irritating or uncomfortable, simply observe your breathing, your natural rhythm. We'll all start there. So just taking a moment or two to turn attention into the breath. You might enter it like entering into a stream or current of energy that you can move along with. And if that feels a little intense, let yourself rest on the outer bank so you're watching it move. The flow of the inhalation moving from the outside in and down. And the exhalation moving up and out back into the space. You're following and feeling this flow of breath and energy. And then, if it feels right, the coherent breathing on your next exhale, you'll pause, hold out your breath, and then inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Pause and hold. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Pause on empty. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and hold. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause on empty. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause on empty. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pause and hold. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause on empty. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause and hold. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause on empty. Last round for 3 on your own. Just pausing the briefest of moments before the exhalation. And then setting the counting free, taking that next breath in, feeling it moving in and down, expanding out to fingers and toes. You might even invite your body begin to stretch or move. If you're lying down, you might stretch the body long or invite the knees into the chest for a little rocking or twisting. If you're seated, you might take your arms out to the side, reaching through those fingertips or up toward the ceiling, just beginning to feel a little bit of movement and wakefulness coming back into the muscles, into the body. And if you are lying down, I'm going to invite you to come to sit. We'll do a little bit of breath to movement here to close this practice. So just a few more minutes. And if you're seated on the ground, sitting up on maybe a cushion to help elongate the spine, supporting the hips. Also helping for the breath to be more diaphragmatic, more deep down into that belly space. If you're seated more in a chair, I'm going to invite you to sit toward the front. So there is some active engagement. You're not leaning back into the back of a chair, if that's comfortable. We'll just take some simple breath to movement with our arms and invite a little twist at the end. So I'm going to invite you to bring your hands together at the center of your chest, and on the next in-breath, taking your arms toward the ceiling. It doesn't need to be straight. You might keep your elbows slightly bent, so you're finding your degree of vertical. And then on the exhale, you're going to float your arms all the way down by your side. Once they're down by your side, you're going to flip your palms open toward the wall in front of you, and then inhale, take your arms back up toward the ceiling. And then you'll turn your palms away so they're out to the side walls, and then you'll exhale, lower the arms down. You'll do that 2 more times. You don't need to move quickly. You can even pause, maybe between those movements of breath and movements of arms, and just suspend and feel that pause. What happens in the pause? Discovering the pause. All right, next time you inhale, your arms come up, you'll exhale and you're going to twist a little to the right. And you're going to bring your right hand down to your right hip or the arm of your chair, and your left hand to the left inner knee. This might be enough of a twist. You might take your shoulders and ribs a bit more to the right. And then just pause here for 3 breaths. Coming back home to that torso, feeling the breath expanding through the front, the back, and the sides. One more breath here. Feeling that inhale enlivening you as you're twisting. And then on the exhale, you're going to unwind back to center, hands on your upper legs, palms are down. Just take a breath or two here in center. Feeling the spine realigning. Discovering what's here after that twist on one side. And then on the next in breath, your arms come back toward the vertical, and then you'll exhale, twisting a bit to the left. The left hand comes down to the left hip or the arm of the chair, and your right hand to the right inner knee. And you're finding your degree of twist to the left, and you're pausing for 3 cycles of breath. Discovering how the breath feels on this side twist. One more breath, slow and steady. On the next exhale, you're coming back to center, hands resting in your lap, palms are down, and spine is realigning. You're breathing and you're feeling the ground beneath you. Feeling the temperature of the air on your hands and your face. Begin to gently turn the head right and left, moving slowly. And after you move back and forth once or twice, begin to let your eyes open if they've closed. So now you're visually taking in the space around you. Feeling yourself coming back into your space, present in the body or near the body for some. Maybe a bit more spaciousness of breath. So just checking it out here, this last moment or two, just tuning in. What has this practice offered to you today? How are you feeling now? What's the tone of your body? Is there a certain rhythmic pattern or just ease to your breath? Just checking it out. Is the mind feeling scattered or a bit more present, gathered, focused, here, now? So, as we come to a close, you might bring your hand to the center of your chest and just feeling that last touch of connection, at least for now. Maybe a little thank you to the body and the mind and the senses. A thank you for taking this time for yourself. And know that these practices can continue to serve you, and you can come back to this practice anytime you need. So I thank you for listening today, for rest and reset.